let's do that. Okay, so we're starting with 2 and 4, right?
No, I said 1. I got 2 and 3. So
3 and 4? I'm sorry.
just 1.
Just 1, sorry. Okay, so number 1 is, I'm gonna write it out, right? This is at least what I have on my homework. I might be wrong. All right, is that all we were given, or did we? Yeah, that is all we were given. Okay. So this is an Euler equation, right? So we want to use the whatever the equation was that was like A plus B minus A plus C equals 0 to find R, right? Yeah. So A equals 1, B equals 1, and C equals -1, right? So the equation is A R squared plus B minus A R plus C equals 0, and that's to solve for R. So with what we have here for A, B, and C, it's going to become R squared minus 1, because B minus A is 0, equals 0. And then you're just going to factor that, right? And so then we have our R values of R equals 1 and -1. And then give me a second. I did the homework like 4 days ago, so I don't know what I'm doing. So for Euler equations, we are assuming, so like to get to this equation, we are assuming that x equals t to the r. So then with x equals to the r, x1 equals t to the 1, and x2 equals t to the -1. I have no idea what I wrote down. So then we have our x1 and x2, and then we move on to where did we do this? I'm trying to figure out which notes it was in. Whatever the Wronskian is, we use that for. I have no idea where it is in the notes, but it's the like, you get like V1 and V2 prime, and then use that to find out what they are. So then the Wronskian of this is equal to the determinant of x1, x2, and x1 prime and x2 prime. So that's t to the 1, then t to the -1, and 1, and -1 over t squared. So then the Wronskian is equal to this minus that. So it's -1 over t minus 1 over t, so it's equal to negative 2 over t. So then with that, we get v1 prime is equal to this bit right here, t to the 1/2, times x2, right? Yes, x2 times x2, because it's the opposite. That's t to the negative 1 divided by the Wronskian. And then v2 prime is the same, except it's multiplying by x1. And then when you simplify this, v1 is equal to t to the 1/2 divided by 2. And v2 prime is negative t to the 5/2 divided by 2. And then we're going to integrate those. So then v1 is equal to t to the 3/2 divided by 3 plus c1. v2 is equal to t to the 7/2 divided by 7 plus c2. Why did I do that?
I didn't really understand the v1 v2 because I used that like equation where it's like wt equals wto e to the integral of to to t dt, and I don't know if that's like what we're supposed to do or not, or we're supposed to plug it back in like the x equals v1 x1 plus v2 x2, and that's supposed to be your equation.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so here are the notes. It looks like, why do I not understand this now? Oh, that's what it is. So what we're doing is this. This is part of the proof, but we are solving for v1, x1, v2, and x2 to solve for x. So I guess.
Bill, you are so lucky. Oh my God. We've already walked 6 miles. We have 3 more to go. And they're right there.
We are. So. I have no idea. What we're doing now, so we've solved for v1 and v2 from solving for r and the determinant and everything. And then we just need to plug it into x. So then x is going to equal because x1 is t times v1 plus x2, which is 1 over t times v2. And then I'm going to skip a step, and then expanding and simplifying. It's going to be 10t to the 5 halves divided by 21 plus c1t plus c2 1 over t. I'm pretty sure that's the answer. Do I need to do that again? Does anyone have any other questions? That was kind of messy. Sorry.
Is that like the same way you solved for number 2?
Number 2. Yes, that is the exact same way I did it for number 2.
For number 3, did you get like weird fractions?
Not really.
Okay, then I might need help on that one.
Okay. Let's go through number 3 then. So for this one, because there's no t's on this side, we are assuming that x equals e to the t, because then that makes it possible for us to just plug in r for all of the x primes. So it becomes r squared plus 9r equals 0. And then we're just going to solve for r. So then r equals 0 and -9. So for this one, I used the method of undetermined coefficients. So first I solved for x of h, or xh, I don't know how to say it, because that just becomes, it's e to the 0t c1 plus e to the -9t c2, so then it's just c1 plus c2 e to the -9t. That's our x of h. And then x of p is where it gets very involved. So we need to come up with something to try and find it. So first I started off with a/t cubed plus bt squared plus ct plus d. And then I went through the whole process of finding the derivative and the second derivative, and that didn't work out because the at cubed is going to go down to at, or like 6t at, 6at, and you're not going to be able to solve for anything because when you plug it back into the equation, yeah, you're not going to be able to figure anything out because that's not going to be a high enough power to solve for t cubed. And also because if you remember, you can't have like since r equals 0, -9, t and t to the -9 cannot be a solution. He briefly mentioned that, but that's just another reason. So then I multiply the entire thing by t to get everything to a higher power. And then this is going to work out.
Oh, that's what I did wrong. I didn't multiply by t, and then yeah, I just didn't get past that. Like I got some weird fractions and I just couldn't work it out. So
he did that on maybe one of the problems that we went through, I think. But I guess when in doubt, like especially when we have powers like this, just multiply by a t or like an e to the t, something like if you have like t's, multiply to an e to the t just to get the powers to work out, because when you do find the derivative, you lose powers and stuff.
so then you'll find that like a times something is equal to 1, and you figure out what like a is, and you have to figure out what like b, c, and d is, and then that's your x of p, and then you plus that with your x of h, and that's your answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions? You want me to go over any more examples from the notes or anything? Or
Yeah, can you do 4?
or
Just start it off.
so once again, we have an Euler equation. We're looking for the general solution. Once again, Euler equation, a equals 1, b equals 4, c equals 2. And then we're going to plug that into the ar squared plus b minus a equation. And we have r squared plus b minus a plus 2 equals 0. And then you factor that. We get r equals -2 and -1. So once again, with the Euler equations, we're assuming x equals t to the r. So then x is going to be so I think in this question he asked for us to solve, I can't remember what the difference is. The general solution, we have to find C1 and C2, which is the bulk of this problem, because if we didn't, we would just leave it right there. But now we have to find C1 and C2, which is the difficult part. So then we're going for the derivative of x is -2c1c to the -3 minus c2 t to the -2. Oh, right, and then we were given values. X of 1 equals 1. So x of 1 equals 1 is then c1 t to the negative, not t, sorry. c1 1 to the -1 plus c2 1 to the -1. So then 1 equals c1 plus c2. We're going to use that later, and so then we're going to plug in our x prime of 1 equals 0. So then using the x prime, we have -2 c1 1 to the -3 minus c2 1 to the -2, which is then -2 c1 minus c2 equals 0. And then just bring 1 over to the other side, so c2 equals -2 c1. And then we're going to plug this bit in to that equation. Let's just say c2 since we have it. So 1 equals c1 minus 2c1. So then one equals -c1. So c1 equals -1. And then we can plug this bit into there to find c2. So c2 equals 2, is that right? Yes. So now that we have c1 and c2, we can just plug those back up into this equation. So then x equals -1 t to the -2 plus 2 t to the -1. I wrote that down wrong on my work.
It's kind of crazy how much easier it is to learn things when there's not a bunch of people typing in the chat. Oh, well, you did this wrong. You did that wrong. It's kind of nice, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I totally wrote the answer down wrong on my homework. So. So where did I get the minus? That's where I did. Yeah. Okay. So does this make sense for those of you who are confused on it?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anything else anyone wants to go over?
Do you mind if we finish going over number 3?
Yes, I can do that.
Thank you.
So 3 actually gets kind of complicated and then really simple. So we're just going to solve for x p prime and x double prime. P, I don't know what I'm saying. So let me do that real quick. So we have our x prime and our x double prime, and then we're going to plug it back into this equation up here. So then it's going to be very long. This is exactly confusing myself. Right, so if you see here, if we didn't multiply by that t up here, this would only be a t squared, and that would be the highest power, which would make it impossible for us to solve because we have a t cubed over there. So this looks incredibly complicated, but it's actually really simple, right? So everything here, we have like a t squared and a t and a 1 or something, a c, right? But all of these are just 0. And so everything that is lower than the t cubed is just 0. So that's 0, that's 0, that's 0, that's 0, that's 0, that's 0. And that just leaves us with the 9 times 4at to the third equals that. So then a is going to equal 1 over 36. So then xp is equal to this. just that, because we just have a, everything else equals 0. So it's 1 over 36 t to the 4th. So then x is going to equal 1 over 36 t to the 4th plus our x of h, which is c1 plus c2 e to the negative 9t.
Thank you. Yeah, when I was doing this, I completely messed up my r, so apparently I'm not even good at that. I did or r equals 0 and 9 instead of -9, so this makes a lot more sense.
Why would we not like solve for B, C, and D? Like I know it like it equals 0 on the right side, but wouldn't like the 6bt plus 2ct is equal to 0, and then you have to find out like what B and C are.
Here, I think it might help if I expand it completely out. We're gonna have 12at squared So if we group these, I'm going to change it to highest power to lowest. Right, so when we have equations like this and we're solving for these things, everything, so the only thing that's going to matter here is this and this, because they have the same power. So if we had like another 2t squared right here, then we would have 36 a t cubed equals t cubed, and we would have, what am I trying to say? 12at squared plus 27bt squared equals 2t squared, right? So since this is just 0 and everything else is just 0, like it's basically saying that this is equal to 0, which, I mean, I guess it isn't 0.
So
Wait a minute.
when you solve for like A and like that 36, like since A is like 1 over 36, and then you plug it into the other equation with B, and then that has to equal 0, so then you can figure out what B is.
Yeah, okay. We're going to go through this right now because, yeah, I'm probably wrong now.
Because
so we know A equals 1 over 36. And so I'm plugging that in. It's 1/3. Let me make sure I don't lose anything here. Yeah, I definitely screwed up on this. Okay.
Well, the only reason I knew was because in the book they had an example on page 144 that they solved it out completely.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So then b equals -1/81. Yeah, I just completely assumed that a equaled 0. Nope. All right. So then I get a calculator. We're gonna leave it like this because I can't do the math right now. That's a big number.
Yeah, there's the weird fractions I was talking about.
Okay. And then we have 2c plus 9d equals 0. 2 Why is this so ugly? Okay, and then you plug that in to all that to x of p. So if I want to do that, it'd be And then x would be that plus x of h. Do you have any other questions? Anything in the notes you want me to go over?
I think I'm good, but thank you so much. This was actually really helpful.
All right, thank you. That makes me happy. Anyone else have any questions, concerns?
Are you just gonna post the recording of this in like the group me or something?
Yes, so I created a Dropbox for this. I don't know how well that's going to work out. I was trying to think of other ways I could do it. Like maybe I could upload them to YouTube or something, but like there's not a lot of things that I could think of.
I mean, I think a YouTube would be perfect, honestly.
Okay, I'll try to set that up. Anything else? All right, then. I guess this is it. I'll see you guys next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
No problem.